Hello, we are not
Oh,
Alex
that
Thomas.
fucking intro. That's insane.
Wow, we are not Alex Thomas. But welcome. Alex be going through it. Alex be going through it, bro. Stand by. Stand by, ladies and gentlemen.
Stand By Me. 1984, directed by... I don't remember who directed it. Fuck. It was What's-His-Face who did Harry Met Sally.
Uh-oh.
Yo, StreamYard about to blow me. Oh my God,
You're
StreamYard.
good. You're good. You're
StreamYard.
Good. We hear you.
Oh my God. Yo,
I think they
what's
already
going on
did.
YouTube? It's your boy Alex Thomas here, back with another episode of Nerd Talk. We're on episode 26 of Nerd Talk. I'm here with my two co-hosts. We got Mind of a Nerd and we got Benji Sandegard here with us today. And today we're talking about some interesting topics. Obviously the big main topic we're talking about, you got two big main topics: Moon Knight episode 2 and 3 and Fantastic Beast, the Secret of Dumbledore spoiler talk. And yeah, those are the two things we're talking about today. Tyler, how you doing today? Happy Easter, by the way, everybody.
Yes.
How you doing though?
What's going on, brother? I am chilling. I'm ready to talk about Moon Knight because I love this show, and I'm sure we're gonna have a interesting discussion about Fantastic Beasts.
We pulling out wands? We're pulling out wands?
Oh, here he comes. Here he comes with the J.K. Rowling signed.
We're pulling out.
It's not signed. It's just.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about this clown. Look at him.
It's not signed.
Okay.
It's not signed.
You would
but
have
it does light up though. I would though if I could, for sure. Like, regardless of what we talk about J.K. Rowling, she is a goddess for creating this awesome world of Harry Potter. Regardless of what she's done with this Fantastic Beasts franchise, the first 8 movies are gold. I don't care what nobody say. The first 8 books are gold. The first 7 books. I mean, 8 movies, 7 books. But yeah, Benji, how you doing? Happy Easter, bro.
Good. Yeah, what did I do for Easter? I sat at home. That's what I did.
I forgot.
I got the Wizarding World Universal one. They told me this was like my thing, and like it was the longest one on my whole family. That's what I remember. It was the biggest wand. I had the biggest wand in my whole family, and it's an event.
You got an official joint.
This is a Great Wolf prop, but I kept it for whatever reason, and it looks cool.
Yeah, I have Harry's wand. From obviously they changed the wand design in the newer movie, so this is like from 4 up. I think they started changing the design. No, 3 and up they changed the design of the wands where they look more like wood and trees and stuff, which I do like the design of the wands. Give more of a different look to every single wand, and it lights up. So all I do is flick it and go Lumos, and it turn off. There you go. So that's everything we're talking about. Like I said, if you guys aren't following us on our social media platforms, aka YouTube, Instagram, they will be in the description below. Check out Benji on Instagram and YouTube. Check out Tyler, Mind of a Nerd, on YouTube and Instagram. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into our first topic of the day, and that is DC, baby. Oh, that's WB.
It's interesting.
They released a statement talking about something that we all would love. We love that what they said, but we don't know the things of what by nature what they're gonna do with this. So basically, I got the tweet from Eric Davis. I think that was sent in our chat. We sent in our chat. It says new WB Discovery, which I'm still not used to saying that, wants to overhaul DC entertainment. Variety says they want a Kevin Feige like figure. That DC lacks a coherent creative and brand strategy, that they want to revitalize characters like Superman, and they want more stuff like Joker. So basically, I think it's a good idea. Start over, DC. Just start over, WB. Do not just go ahead and if you want to do Flashpoint, and that's it. Erase the entire thing. Make it where the movie ends and Ezra Miller is not Flash. I don't care what you guys do. Just do it. Start over. Start from scratch. Bring in a new Superman if you have to. We don't need to see these old characters back because it will kind of confuse people. I think it will if they bring back the old characters like Henry Cavill. Also, I read articles saying they want to do something with the DC games as well. I just read an article about that earlier today. And I think
they want to make like the solo games like Spider-Man and Wolverine. They will do like a Superman game and all this, which is cool if they get the right stuff. Maybe they should just get Insomniac to do it. That's
or Rocksteady.
Or Rocksteady, yeah.
Yeah, Rocksteady already proven they can do a really good superhero trilogy. Well, no, they didn't do
Origins.
They didn't do Origins. But yeah, they made a great trilogy of games for Batman. And they're doing which one? Gotham Knights or Suicide Squad? Suicide Squad? Okay, yeah. So yeah, I mean, who knows? But yeah, but your guys' thoughts on all this stuff that's going on at WB Discovery?
It's a good idea. It's gonna take them a long time though, because like Marvel, where they are now, it's taken them about 13-14 years to do it.
Exactly.
And the problem I've realized about Warner Brothers with their stuff is that they're not willing to wait. And then when it gets to a point where there's 2, maybe 3 failures, they just start over again. They need to be willing to sit in their own world and build it for like 10 years to get to that level. But they want to be Marvel, obviously, because Marvel's doing really well, but they don't have the patience to be Marvel. So it's cool that their statement is they want to do this and they want to like focus, but I have a really big worry that they're just gonna turn around after like 2 movies don't do well. They're gonna be like, nope, we don't want to do this anymore. We're doing something else. But
yeah, but I agree with everything you're saying. But the problem I have with DC is that you don't need to play catch up. Kevin Feige knew that you have to play the long game. You can't just You have to tell good stories with good characters in order for us to care when we get that big ensemble movie. That's why we care so much about the Avengers, because each movie that was in phase 1, we cared about Iron Man, we cared about Captain America, we cared about Thor. So when they finally met together, it meant something. We could have felt that with the DC movies, but they didn't give us time with Wonder Woman. They didn't give us time with Batman. We got one movie with Superman. And they did Dawn of Justice, and that was the second movie in their franchise. So that's my thing, is that you don't need to play catch up. We're gonna go see these movies. If they're good, we're gonna keep going. You don't have to rush. But Tyler, what do you think, bro?
I read this and a bunch of emotions came to my head. The first thing immediately was shock that these words were coming from DC, because we were at a point where we felt we were not being heard, and that we were just being ignored, and clearly that's not the case. Someone in there knows how fucked up this DCEU is, and they know that things need to change. Am I confident that things will change? Yes and no. And I've seen some people say just erase everything in the DCEU. I can't particularly agree with that, because I love Shazam and I love Aquaman. Those are my 2 pretty big favorites in the DCEU, and I don't want them to be changed. And I was telling you guys about this privately, that I don't think you really need to do anything to Aquaman and Shazam, because they don't affect anything. They're basically in their own little world in the DCEU. They take place in the DCEU, but they're not affecting future installments. Black Adam is probably going to affect Shazam 3 for obvious reasons, but these movies don't do anything to anyone. And I don't want them to be changed to the point where they are ruined, because I think James Wan and the other director who's doing Shazam, I don't remember his name.
David F. Sandberg.
F. Sandberg. They understand the source material. They know what they're doing. They should be kept on this lineup of DC directors that they're gonna have, because those 2 understand the content. And even though James Gunn isn't perfect, I think James Gunn should be there too, because he really knows how to bring comics to life in a way that's believable and engaging. I'm looking forward to this, but I'm not gonna. I need to see change before I fully commit to this because I don't believe them. And it all starts with the Flash movie and it starts with Batgirl. They need to get in there and scrap all of this. Okay, because there's no reason why we're going to be sitting in 2023, I'm assuming, whenever these movies finally come out, saying Michael Keaton is the new Batman in the DCEU. That is ludicrous. That is ridiculous, and there's no need for that. I'm sorry, and I'm not. For the people that say, "Oh, you're always screaming and yelling all the time," I'm just saying this straightforward. There's no reason why Michael Keaton should be Batman in the DCEU. It's fucking ridiculous.
He's too old for it at this point.
And I don't understand why they feel the need to have someone who was already Batman be the new and current Batman. It's ridiculous. If you don't want to have Bruce Wayne, you don't need Bruce Wayne. How many other fucking versions of Batman can we think of? Yeah. There are a lot. Yeah. There's a lot. You could do Batman Beyond. Yeah. Do you really think anyone would Batman be Beyond? I would love for them to do Batman Beyond because it's new and it's fresh. And if Batman Beyond was the Batman moving forward for the DCEU, it would be much better than what we're getting. There are a whole bunch of versions of Batman you can do, but Batman Beyond is the one that I would think of. Now, in terms of Batgirl, I don't know what's going on with that, but they need to. I'm not opposed to Leslie Grace's Batgirl. I think that's perfectly fine. I think she's a good actress. She can do it. The hate is unwarranted just because of her race. It's fucking ridiculous. They just need to think about the future. They need to think about the now. They cannot keep relying on bringing back old actors for no reason. In terms of The Flash, I honestly want them to delay this movie indefinitely and just rewrite it because I'm being serious. Because I
want them to cancel it, and then I want them to quote unquote cancel it, recast him, and then just do a movie where Flash becomes Flash. That would be way more interesting.
I really do want Grant Gustin because. And I'm not just saying that because he's already established. I genuinely think he deserves that spotlight. That show is fucking terrible right now. And he is literally carrying that show on his back. He is one of the few things in that show that, most people would agree is probably still great about it. He's not just one of those CW actors. I don't think that at all. I genuinely think he deserves the spotlight. And I think if they did recast him and made him the Flash of the DCEU, I don't think anyone would oppose with that. That's how I feel. Again, I don't speak for everyone, but I think that most people would be like, yeah, okay, because Ezra Miller is not surviving in the DCU. I'm sorry. I don't
He's not surviving in cinema in general. Yeah. Like I feel like he's so far behind the ball. Everything he's doing franchise-wise is
it's
bad.
So strange because he's a part of two big Warner Brothers properties and when it comes to Fantastic Beasts and DC.
The problem, I don't know why they did this, but both franchises have ultimately bagged all their stuff. Like they pretty much put all their stuff into the Ezra Miller bin.
Yeah, they did.
He was going to be this big thing, and we're realizing that he's really not. And he's
we'll talk about him now. We'll talk about him when we get to the spoiler talk. But
in the DC situation, which parlays into the Fantastic Beasts situation, for some reason they thought Ezra Miller was like a really good idea. We're gonna base our whole franchise around this person because they're doing it with DC with the Flash. And I feel like it's really poor, on Warner Brothers' part because now they have two franchises that they don't know what to do with because this person is doing things that they don't agree with. So they're like, what do we do with this? And I think that obviously it's a stupid fucking thing to do is base your whole franchise on one actor. And then if that actor has a situation where they die or something bad happens where they are not relevant in the good light anymore, it just fucks up your whole franchise. I don't know why they did that. I feel like it's a part of their whole situation that they didn't know what they're doing. They were like, this seems like the most safest option, and then it figures out that it's not the safest option later down the road.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch on something too. You know, we talked about how much they screwed up this universe and how they fast tracked it. Just look at the Matt Reeves Batman universe that we have right now. We got one movie that we all loved, one, and now we're saying, man, I can't wait for a Catwoman show. I can't wait for a Penguin show. I can't wait for the Arkham show. I can't wait for Batman 2. 4 projects after one movie.
Remember we were talking about this when Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out, and every time we were going to get an Aunt May movie, we were going to get all this stuff that Sony was going to do after Amazing Spider-Man 2. And while we should be kind of questioning Warner Bros., but the Batman is amazing. It's a 5 out of 5, but do we need all these spinoffs and stuff connected to this?
The point I'm trying to make is that they made one good movie, and now we're invested in everything that's coming next. That's my point. They were not really focused on establishing a universe. They were, but they weren't.
I think Benji got kicked out.
But yeah, they were focused on making a universe, but not really. Their main priority was making a good movie. They put the puzzle pieces in for their universe, moving forward, but their main priority was making a good movie. That's where Warner Brothers fucked up with BVS. They were not intent on making a good movie. That wasn't their main priority. Their main priority was setting up a DCEU.
They're trying to make bridges to another place, but the problem is they don't have the first place to take the bridge and go to the other island. There is no first island right now, and that's their problem. Is Iron Man was their first island, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor Island, and then they used Avengers to bridge into the other thing. They don't have that first thing. Like, they're trying to do it, but they're trying to be different, but the same as Marvel at the same time. And they got to realize that, like, I think a lot of franchises are doing this. Let's be honest. Dark Universe got one movie and got canceled. Power Rangers Universe got one movie and got canceled. Assassin's Creed Universe got one movie and got canceled. Yeah, and the argument there is that everyone's trying to be Marvel, but only Marvel can do what Marvel's doing. So people should just do what they do best.
It's not that everyone's do Marvel. Marvel is doing it the smart way. Like they're doing it where they're setting this stuff up. It's not like we're getting smushed so much content in a small time. They extended, like you said, it took 13 years to get to where we're at. Yeah. Like, it's not like it took 5 years and we got Avengers Endgame. Like, that didn't happen. Avengers Endgame mattered because we had 10 years of content first.
The way that DC's been doing it, it's like they make Iron Man and then the next movie's Endgame. It's like,
yeah, that's exactly what happened. Because we got one movie, we got Man of Steel. Then it automatically had Batman versus Superman when they
just want to take the good stuff. The problem is that they're not doing the filler movies that help bridge the gap. They're like, we're taking Iron Man and then we're gonna do Civil War, and it's like that doesn't make any sense. Like, why you would do that?
And it's crazy because I still remember that movie was coming out, and then when they revealed Captain America, it was called like Serpent Society. Serpent Society, and then like, no, we're gonna do Civil War. It's like, oh, DC, they're gonna show you that they could do the versus movie better than you guys, and they eventually did. But yeah, I don't want to keep talking about this, but. Yeah, we're gonna do Spider-Man. It pisses me off watching Flashpoint Paradox because that movie could be so awesome in live action because we have most of these characters already established. We got Wonder Woman, man. We could have had Jeffrey Dean Morgan play Thomas Wayne Batman, but no, they wanted to fuck up and not even set everything up right. But I digress. We're digressing. You guys got any more final thoughts? Because now I'm getting mad. I don't want to get mad.
I've got one.
Go ahead, Tyler.
Flashpoint is an animated movie under 90 minutes. I think it's like 80.
It's short.
No matter what they do, that movie will always be better than the DCEU Flash movie. And that is hilarious.
Yeah.
it's funny how the best DC movies so far are the animated ones. It's really, but I think it's because they stick to the medium that they're known for, which is animated comics. You know,
Yeah.
It's more closer to the even though there's ones I don't like as much, like Killing Joke. At least it's close. The second half is literally the comic book. And I think the problem is they're trying to live action it, and they don't know how. They don't know their limits. They do like Wonder Woman 84, where the physics make no sense, and then they'll do something else where it's super dark, which isn't really like the animateds understand what they're doing because they're just focusing on movie to movie. They don't want to make it. They're making a universe technically, but they're like, we just want to adapt the comic books the way they are. You know, they don't want to make this. They're not trying to be Marvel, and they're doing better than the DCEU is.
Right. Let me hop in the chat real quick before we go to our next topic. We got Luke in the chat. What's up, Luke? Said what's up. We got Emmett in the chat. Said, did you go to church today? No, I watched it on TV. I don't rarely go to church, but like on days today, I try to get some type of sermon in today. I watched it on TV though, or on YouTube actually. We got Mark Thomas in the building. Said WB messed up, bro. Yeah, they messed up when they fucked with Zack Snyder, because Zack Snyder had a plan. They just didn't allow him to have his plan. My twin brothers in the chat said, "Twin, what's going on?" We got Ken Pope saying they could do what if movies and keep what sticks. Now, what do you mean? Like what they could do? If you're talking about doing one-offs, yeah, not what if movies. Let's do they could do the one-offs like the Joker.
I think that's what he meant.
And the Batman. Yeah, you can do that.
You can do one-offs and then make franchises out of the ones that people like.
I forgot who I was talking to. People, but there's one guy was telling me saying he think the audience would be confused that we're gonna have two Batmans at the same time. And I said, I don't think that's true, because if you establish this world as its own thing and let everyone know, okay, we got the DCU, this own thing, I think the audience will be smart enough to understand, okay, these are two different things, because they're one, because obviously they're one-offs. Like the Joker movie is not connected to the Batman. We know that. Clearly they take place in different time periods. Emmett, yes, I already answered that question. Myron's laughing at us. We got Ben Halster saying it. He said 100% true. Kevin, we got Kevin in the chat. I don't know if he's still here, but he said DC needed Kevin Feige. Just reset the DCU. Yeah, we all agree with you. I think they do need to reset. And maybe, who knows? Maybe they delayed Flash just to probably get in that mode where maybe this is the movie they're gonna reset everything. The only problem I have with that is that you got Aquaman, like Tyler said, we got Aquaman, Shazam, and Black Adam, and those projects look very promising. So if you guys erase everything, basically everything we just saw doesn't matter anymore.
The one thing I am happy about is that we're getting those movies before Flash. So if they do erase anything, then it'll be like, well, I already saw the movies and I'm happy.
Exactly.
Well, hopefully happy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So all right, let's go ahead and move on to our next topic, and that is Moon Knight, baby. We didn't talk about episode 2 last week because I had a prior thing to go to that night. So we're gonna talk about episode 2 and 3. We're gonna get into spoilers territory as well. So if you guys haven't seen the episode, Ben, I'm sure Benny really don't care about spoilers all like that. He spoils us all the time. So
because that's the thing. I saw episode 2, but I didn't see episode 3. Because I think that's the basis of my argument is that I think after Hawkeye, I just don't care about the shows anymore. Like it's cool. It's like the kids' table. That sounds really weird that I'm referencing it that way, but it's like, you know, you look at it, you're like, oh, cool. People are having fun over there, but I really don't want to. But I'm not a part of that. It's just something like that where it's like the shows are not like Loki. I really liked. WandaVision I really liked, but the other two I didn't really enjoy. And in this show, I like the concept of it, but something about the shows, I don't vibe with. I'll watch it when it's. I feel like at this point, I'll wait till the episodes to come out and then I'll watch them all one day. I don't like doing the week by week with Marvel. It's just it's always disappointing because they can't deliver. Because they try to act like they're going to give us a whole Marvel movie every week, but it really isn't.
Yeah. I think with this show, because I'm trying to. I should have watched episode 2 and episode 3 back to back because I know I was doing this. Because I forgot to talk about episode 2. I didn't review episode 2. And I'm trying to think about what actually happens, but that's when basically his wife comes into play, right?
Yeah.
Where he finds out about this other life. And I saw your post on it, and I do like her as a character. She is pretty cool in this show. She gives me a nice little smile. I was like, okay, maybe they can actually build their relationship back up. Even though like I think she came in with the divorce papers in this episode. Like, okay, like what exactly is going on here? Because she, like I said, she's the one calling the phone the whole time, and he doesn't know who it is. Because Steven doesn't know who she is.
Yeah.
And she keeps calling him Mark. He's like, who is Mark? I'm not Mark. I'm Steven. I work at a fucking gift shop. And I think I agree with you, Benji, is that after watching even episode 3, I think the action is dope, though. That's probably obviously those are the best parts.
I'll admit the action scenes are cool, but I feel like the problem I have with the shows is that they don't understand how to write for shows. They know how to write for movies, so they're trying to do movies in show form. But the problem with them is they end up having situations where episodes are boring. Like you'll have one episode that's really boring, one episode's very eventful, and it's just like because they know how to write a movie, but they don't know how to write a show. And a lot of the directors I respect who they're getting to direct these episodes, they make good movies. They've never made shows though. So they really don't know how to format a show.
Yeah, structure
a
show.
That's my biggest
structure
issue.
episode.
Yeah,
that's what you mean. Like
the structure
of
these things doesn't work for me.
Yeah, Tyler, you seem very. I know you love this show. Go ahead and give your thoughts on what you thought about these 2 episodes.
Episode 2 was fucking great. It was just as good as the first episode for me. I loved it so much. Episode 3 was the weakest of the 3, but I still really liked it a lot. I love. You know, I was talking to AJ about this. I was like, it's weird to say that this show is doing world building because the MCU as a whole is world.
Exactly.
But this show is doing really good world building in the sense that it's introducing us to Egyptian gods and mythology. And just it's something we've never seen in the MCU before. I love seeing gods in the MCU. Like it's awesome. That scene when they were having like that basically that
meeting.
Yeah, it was awesome. I was like, I fucking love this. I want to see more of this.
I kind of wish we would have seen the gods in their form instead of them being taken over by their
I think avatars.
I wanted to see that because we always see. I can't even think of what's
Khonshu.
Yeah, we always see him as like his presence, but I want to see the other gods' presence in that moment, but we didn't see it. Like you said, maybe they're building up to that. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm loving this show right now. The ending of episode 3 was really interesting because Khonshu is, I guess, imprisoned.
Stone. Yeah, he's locked up, basically.
And so I want to know where the character of Moon Knight is going to go because you just got all these personalities now without basically a leader. And I'm interested in that. Also, Ethan Hawke, man. Ethan Hawke is great. I like his villain a lot. And I was talking to someone about this. I'm like, obviously he's not as good, but he reminds me a lot of Thanos, where he's not very aggressive. He has a goal and he's accomplishing it, and that's it. He's like, listen, I'm not being aggressive. Just get the fuck out of my way.
He has a motive that I can agree with, but his execution of the motive is not great. I think same with Killmonger, same with a lot of these other villains. They understandable why they're acting the way they are, but I'm like, but what you're doing is wrong. But when you break it down to what Ethan Hawke believes in this show, I'm like, it's understandable, the idea of like stopping evil before evil can manifest and become a big thing. I'm like, that's interesting, and I think that's something everyone can agree with. We want to stop evil before evil.
He basically doing like what Robert Redford was doing with Shield, with Hydra, was trying to take out potential threats before they become threats. Whoa! Oh! No. Jason Carr coming through. Hold on, we got to stop right. Hold on. With a $50 super chat. He said, buy yourself something good. Always appreciate these live streams about movies, TV shows, and so on. Thank you for bringing movie community together with your great content. Well, thank you so much, Jason. the
We gotta get some
MVP
music, bro. Every
of Nerd
time,
Talk.
every time
I got
he
I
drops
got to get
one.
the horn.
Yeah.
Emmett. I don't know if Bushman will appear in the episode. I have no idea. Emmett. Remy says Ethan Hawke is great in the show. Yes, he is. I agree with you to a slight Benji about Ethan Hawke. I just don't think we know that much about his cause yet because we don't know where it's leading to. As
I
well.
think
So that's
he's
why it's
given
keys
enough
building.
in the first two, because I haven't seen three, but in the first two, there's enough there where I can understand his outward motives, like what he's showing off. I'm like, okay, like this is an interesting basis. Maybe the execution is wrong, but the belief is not wrong. I think that maybe there's ulterior motives that they're going to show when the show is almost done, that he actually is a different way. But right now, what they've given us, I'm like, his ideas are admirable, but his execution's awful because he's like killing these random people. They're like, oh, well, my skills say that you're gonna kill someone, so we're gonna kill you. It's like, yeah.
But I think that's the point, though. He's not. It's not in a certain thing like with when what's his name was saying. I think in the second episode, he's like, so basically, you will kill kids if you know in the future they're gonna kill somebody. Like, cause I'm not in the game for killing kids. Like, I just don't do that. And like I said, I did like the second episode better than the third episode too, because I just love that.
Yeah, I would say my favorite episode is the second episode because the action scenes are dope in it. That's
when he says when he has a suit on and he actually has a suit. I'm like, that's freaking funny though, and it's Steven in there. Like that's the way he perceives the suit when he wears it.
So Mr. Knight, I've heard a lot of people, and if you guys are reading the comics in the comment section, let us know. I've heard that they are changing a lot about Mr. Knight, and people are not happy. And I don't read comics, so watching this show, I don't mind it, but watching this show, it's like I hear all the geeks saying, fuck this shit sucks. What are you doing? Especially in episode 3. There was a scene in episode 3 with Mr. Knight, and I was like, man, here come the pitchforks and the torches, bro.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out which scene you was talking about, because I'm watching, we're trying to figure out which scene was you talking about. It was the
scene with Mr. Knight in episode 3. Where I think he puts the suit on and then he gets his ass kicked, and then Mark is like, "Oh, screw this shit, just put the other suit back on."
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Basically, he gets his ass handed to him, and he's like, "Oh, no, hold on, you can take it back over." I guess I don't mind that. I mean, to me, it just feels like that he doesn't know his strength yet. When he has the suit on, and Mark knows. He knows exactly what he can do when he's in the suit, and I loved all those scenes as well. I think they're doing really good with the action. That's obviously to me, like
the action sequence in episode 3, bro.
Yeah,
that shit was amazing, bro.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I agree. Like when he's gone, like I said, we've seen images of the shot when they show him and the camera zooms in on him. You see the moon behind him. It's an awesome shot. Excuse me. But yeah, after watching this third episode, I don't know if I'm still on board with the Egyptian stuff and finding tombs and stuff. I don't know. I'm still. I'm gonna give it one more episode. I love that they're going through all this stuff because it's something we've never seen before. Especially Egyptian gods. This is something I didn't expect them to do.
Right?
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good thing. Because I'm very unsure about this, but having it be 6 episodes means it's not a huge commitment.
And I think another thing too is it's not connected. Like Tyler said, we said in the first episode, they haven't talked about anything. Like I was so waiting for a hint of the snap. They haven't talked about the snap. They haven't talked about the Avengers. They haven't talked about anything that has happened in the previous MCU in this show. And I like it. But I'm like, damn, so does this show really matter? Where did this come into fruition with the entire MCU? That's what I keep questioning myself every single time.
I definitely think that I think that this is gonna have something to do with the ending of Eternals. I do.
Yeah,
especially with Black Knight and Blade. I think that it's definitely gonna tie into Black Knight somehow. I don't know how or what, but I definitely think that area of the MCU is where he'll tie in.
Mm-hmm.
You know. And in terms of the Egyptian stuff, I'm a sucker for that stuff because I played the 3 rebooted Tomb Raider games, and that's very heavy in those games, and it's cool. So I'm not opposed to it at all, and I'm really interested as to where we go.
It's funny because Benji was talking. He's like he compares this to the first Mummy movie. How it's like basically a guy trying to awaken a Egyptian god to try to for his cause, and like actually he's round the money. It just does feel like the Mummy in a good way, like not a bad way, but like it's pretty funny.
There's no bad way to describe it, bro. The Mummy is one of the best over the top movies of all time, bro.
Yeah, but people could consider it not a good movie. Like it's fun, but it's not good
because that movie
it's not
is
a good movie.
That movie is great, bro.
It's a fun movie. Yeah, it's really fun.
It's a great.
It's a 7.5.
Yeah,
it's a 7.5. But yeah, I think Oscar Isaac is great. I did you. So my guess there's a third personality we got going here.
Yes.
In the third episode,
Jake.
Either Mark or Steven did not know what the frick was going on. Clearly, he's doing something even worse. He's out here annihilating people. He's like, "Oh, that wasn't me. I wasn't trying to do that." And I can't. Okay. I'm so ready to see what.
From what I've heard, that's his name, Jake.
Okay. Yeah, I'm interested because I'm like, damn. So what's going on? Like Steven didn't do it or Mark didn't do it. So we got a third personality being thrown in. I thought it was
Khonshu, but then when I went on social media after I saw the episode, I was like, oh, there's another one. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then obviously the ending, Khonshu got locked up. So clearly, that's the one thing I was questioning. So what's going on with his power? Do he still have the power since he's locked up? And like, how's he going to get the suit and stuff like that? Like, how does all that play in now that he's basically locked in stone? And that's, I guess we'll have to wait till the next episode.
I'm really interested in the end, which is clearly going to be Ethan Hawke, or not Ethan. It's going to be Oscar Isaac versus James McAvoy's 23 personalities.
He's going to be fighting himself. That's what's going to be happening. All his personalities going to get split into as many as they are. They're all going to be fighting each other. That's going to happen. Oscar Isaac is great, though. He's great in the show. He's the one that's pulling me through throughout each episode, especially at the end of episode 2. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm in it, and it made me want to wait for the next episode. This one I was like that, but I was still like, it was all right. Like, I didn't have the same feeling I had after watching episode 2, where I was like, I'm ready for the next episode. So yeah. That's it. I mean, you guys got any more thoughts? I know we really didn't go that much in spoiler because I feel like there's not really that much to spoil with these episodes.
Well, because they haven't revealed anything big yet. And I feel like I hope that means that they're not going to shoe in shit they don't need to. I'm hoping that means that maybe it can be on its own and it could just be a thing that exists outside.
That's what I think they're doing.
Which is fine because that's what it should be. Because I don't want to have an ending where like Spider-Man shows up. It's like, what the fuck? I don't want that. I feel like Marvel needs to do less of that. Where they, that's why I like Eternals. Eternals doesn't really have, other than they talk about the snap, but there's no other characters from the MCU in that movie. It's just on its own. And I want them to do more of those. I don't want them to continuously the problem is these building blocks, sometimes these stepping stones, these building blocks in the MCU, you can't watch them by themselves. Like, that's the problem, because I know everyone's rewatching the MCU, and I refuse to rewatch the MCU all the time, because a lot of them I can't watch by themselves. Because they feel useless by themselves. And I hope that Moon Knight avoids that by not connecting itself to the MCU fully, because at least it could just be a thing on its own that exists that's in this universe but doesn't.
So far we're 3 episodes in, and you're getting what you want, because it's not. It don't feel connected. It doesn't feel like it exists in the MCU, because there's nothing. Mm-hmm. Like obviously they're in the Middle East, so maybe there's not a lot of there's not a lot of posters and branding and stuff like that in those areas. So maybe that's another good thing too, that they're in the desert. They're literally in the desert, so you can't see any branding talking about the blip or anything like that. So, like I said, maybe that's a good thing too, because it is going to stand on its own. Like I said, it might be like Tyler said, it might be something tied towards the end of the show. Shit, it might be a fucking portal might be open. Here comes Doctor Strange. Like, oh, I need you to come with me, and he's gonna fucking take him or whatever. But who knows? But yeah, I think everyone is still great. Like I said, I think Layla is becoming one of my favorite characters. I love their camaraderie between each other. I love the scene when they're on the boat and they're trying to reconnect, and he just won't do it. He just won't do it. Like I said, the action sequence with the horses and all that shit was dope. What else happens in episode 3? I think that's really it. That's what I'm saying. In episode 3, that's why I really wasn't feeling it till the end. Tyler, what did you feel about them doing the sky thing where they were like reverting back the sky to look like the night that they needed to align the stars?
That was awesome. I love that scene.
So different.
Visually,
I was like, what the hell?
Visually, it was amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to know why nobody was like, hey, what's that? I mean, like, you saw people doing that, but not in the way that you should. Like, if I looked outside my window and saw that, I'd be like, what in the fuck is that?
I'll be freaking out. That's something you run from. You try to run and hide because you don't know if the sky is falling. At this point, you want to check a little bit. Like, oh, the sky is falling. But that's what it looked like. It was this, like, so Benji, there's a part in episode 3 where they're like,
where they're changing shit.
They're rotating the star. They're rotating the sky to look like a certain night so they can line up the stars.
Oh yeah,
and
I would either think the world is ending, or I'm just at that point. I'm like, am I too high or drunk? Like, what's going on? Like, I feel like that would be a weird situation.
Spoiler, be like Tobey Maguire. Like, am I dying, or are those people in the sky?
Yeah,
am I dying? That's
really happening.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty cool though, and I love that Katru said it's gonna be at a price, and that's basically was the price that he used so much. He interfered with a lot of stuff because there's another part where he like blocked the sun to like get the god's attention. Basically, it's like a calling to do the meeting.
So he's affecting the world because he's fucking with the sun and the stars and the moon. So he's messing up the cosmic.
Yeah, I guess that's one thing we could talk about too. Also in this episode is that. The gods are the variants are they're just watching. They're like watchers. They're not supposed to interfere when it comes to anything, when it comes to certain things that the human we do. Yeah, like the Eternals. And Kachu is not. He's not doing that. He's interfering with a lot of shit because he's been banished. He said he's been banished from the gods as well. And I guess this last time he interfered with the world and the sky and stuff. They said, all right, fuck it, we gonna lock you up. And that's what eventually happened. So my guess is that in this next episode, he's gonna try to free him or whatever. Who knows how they're gonna free him? Who knows if they can actually do it or not, but who knows? But as Ethan Hawke seems happy about it, I guess he's all happy about it. But yeah. I guess that's it. Anything else you guys got? I know Benji, but Tyler, anything else you want to say about episode?
Episode 4 was
looking forward for next week.
So you looking forward to next week?
Was the best one so far.
Yeah.
I guess we'll wait and see if that's true or not.
I'm more of an episode 6 person myself. Yeah,
but yeah, I think that's it. That's all I have to say about Moon Knight episode 2 and 3. Like I said, I'm probably not gonna do a reviews for either one of these episodes. Probably not episode 4 either. I'm gonna probably just wait until the season is done, do a non-spoiler review about the whole season, and then Nerd Talk will do spoilers for the last episodes or how our thoughts about the whole season. That's how we'll do it when the show's over. So yeah. On to the next topic, and that is the biggest topic of the day. And we all 3 went to go see it this weekend, which I was surprised that Benji actually went to go see it.
Yeah,
and that is Fantastic Beasts.
That's a fun story. I went and saw La La Land before, and there were some dumb fucks behind me that were really loud. So surprisingly, Fantastic Beasts was the better movie experience. It was the worst movie, but the better movie experience.
Wow. Emmett, yes. Tyler, did you have a pod? Do you actually have a podcast? You had a podcast
a long time ago.
Terrible, but yeah, I did. Now I just rebranded it as a movie review channel.
No,
I see you changed. So you changed your name to reviews. Now you changed it out, not the podcast now, right? Okay, good. Cool. But yeah, he used to have a podcast. He changed it to now he's just doing the reviews. Secrets of Dumbledore, guys. What is Dumbledore's secret? I guess we'll find out when we talk about these spoilers.
Find out in 2 more movies.
we know that he's gay. J.K. Rowling confirmed that a long time ago. A lot of people don't even know that, but she said that.
It's funny that it's weird that he's gay since J.K. Rowling's stance on those types of things. It's very interesting that she accepted that in her universe.
I'm not upset about it.
The one thing that's still in this movie that is really weird, they still have the goblins that are really offensive depictions of people. Like, they still are in this franchise. I don't know how in 2022 it's still a thing.
Yeah, because that's why Peter Dinklage will not touch this franchise, because they have goblins still in this franchise. We
can't get an authentic Snow White movie, but we can get goblins in Fantastic Beasts.
Yeah, I just think at this point they that's why they make up CGI at this point. They're still CGI. Yeah,
I'm sure Peter Dinklage was
same like House
the air somewhere. Peter Dinklage was punching the air somewhere watching this movie. J.K. Rowling, you fucking bitch.
Yeah, we got Secrets of Dumbledore, basically the story of Newt Scamander and the gang going against Grindelwald. And Tyler, I know you did a review for it on your channel yesterday, which I did watch. Benji, we're gonna start with you, bro. What'd you think of it?
Grindelwald is a bottom. No one can tell me differently. It was good. I liked it. Which was a surprise because I fucking hate Crimes of Grindelwald, and I gave the first one a 6. Like, they're all inferior to the Harry Potter franchise.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is the closest to like a Harry Potter movie that they've ever gotten, and that's because they actually did Harry Potter stuff in this movie.
Yes.
It felt like it had a purpose, like the other ones didn't, but this one felt like it had a purpose. I liked it, but I'll admit Tyler and I talked for a bit, and like the first 30 minutes are really boring and kind of bad, because I was in the theater, and for the first act roughly of the movie, until they got to the situation where he went to go tell the government guy make the right decision, the movie was boring as shit. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I was debating leaving for the first 30 minutes. I was like, if I leave this movie right now, I won't feel bad for the first 30 minutes. And then it got really good.
I felt that longer.
You felt that. For me, it was when it was the turn of like the guy decided to not make the right decision when he was told to make the right decision. Like, and then there was that fight in the it was like the restaurant banquet hall. That's when it started to get kind of good. And I'm like, okay, I can deal with this. But I'll admit that the movie has bad pacing issues, scenes that are unnecessary. The movie didn't need to be as long as it was. But the end is great. The end of this movie is great. I like the end. The third act is probably the best sequences we've gotten in this whole franchise is the third act. And it actually feels like there's a purpose. But I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it.
Yeah, for sure. I got a whole non-spoiler review. If you guys want to check that out, go check it out. But obviously we're talking about spoilers today. Tyler, you want to give a quick thought of what you thought about, even though I know most probably people that saw it did see your review, but you want to give a quick thought about what you
first of all, if you haven't seen my review, go check it out. We did me and our boy AJ, we tore that up. We did non-spoilers and then spoilers after Final Dance. I walked into this movie miserable as fuck. I walked into this movie not excited at all. I was so miserable that the guy who I'm cool with at the movie theater saw my face and he said, I know exactly what movie you're seeing today. I walked into this movie not excited at all. And I walked out, I guess, surprised. I did like it. I didn't love it. I would say the first hour and 40 minutes of this movie was fucking boring as fuck. I was so bored. And I was like a little kid that could not sit still. I kept moving in my seat to stay awake. Kevin is in the chat. If he is, he fell asleep at one point because it was so boring. And don't deny, motherfucker, because I saw you. You were DUD, bro. I saw you. This movie was so boring. There was a point where nobody was next to me. I was like laying on the armrest watching the movie because I was like, this is so boring. And then the second, I don't want to say the second half, but the back half of the movie was a lot better. It was more fun, it was more entertaining, and I would say overall it's a decent movie. I would say it's the best of the three, but it's not saying much for me.
Yeah, it's definitely the best of the three Fantastic Beast movies. Benji is right. It's inferior to all the other Harry Potter movies. I don't think they're going to be able to touch those Harry Potter movies. It's because I don't know who, I think it was me and Tyler talking about is that we try to compare these to the prequels, prequel trilogy.
Every universe they have to make these movies before that they don't add anything other than the politics and
the politics of the world.
Yeah.
When we watch the Harry Potter movies, we don't care about the politics. It's the characters we care about. We don't care about what as long as it doesn't affect the main characters, it does not matter. And I don't think any of these events doesn't. It might affect them, but we don't feel it because we don't care.
Because the world, and I think the argument too is that the situation with the prequels, I feel like the prequels don't have any, are not that important equal either, because you don't need to watch the prequels to watch the Star Wars movies, because all you get is maybe a little bit of Anakin before you learn a little bit about Anakin, a little bit about Obi-Wan, but like there's nothing in this franchise so far that is a big staple other than Dumbledore that is really important to the Harry Potter universe. Like when the Harry Potter universe starts, the world is good except for of course Voldemort. Everything is fine. Everything is doing well. It's in order. And we all know that by the end of this universe, the 5 movies that they're making, we're going to get to the equilibrium point where Harry Potter is going to be born, and then it's going to lead to the franchise. We don't necessarily
we don't know that either because we don't know that either because we know there's another war that not a war, but Voldemort is a thing, and then Harry kills him. Well, technically Harry doesn't kill him. The spell that Harry's mom put on him kills him. Yeah. So there's something that happens in that period of time with Harry's parents,
it's like the whole thing with episode 3. Episode 3 shows Luke and Leia. It shows Darth Vader, but like it's
I don't think we're gonna get that though.
We don't
we're
really
not gonna
need
get
that though.
Yeah, we're not gonna get that. I don't see that.
We're not gonna get that, but like the idea if they're gonna try to do the same thing where they're like we're gonna connect the tissue. The next franchise. They're unnecessary though. Hopefully by the end of it they give a reason to why we need them, but at this point I'm like we don't need these movies.
Tyler, you made me lose my mind. I was literally about to type that in the chat when you said that like these movies really don't matter because Dumbledore does not die. We know he doesn't die because he's in the Harry Potter universe. And Grindelwald does not die because he shows up in Deathly Hallows Part 1 because Voldemort goes to visit him to find out where the Elder Wand is. So it's pretty hilarious when you think of these.
Isn't he? I forgot the Grindelwald's in that franchise.
Yeah, he goes to Grindelwald and ask him like where can he find the Elder Wand because he figures like that's what he needs to kill Harry Potter. And he tells him, "Oh, it's where it's always been. It's in the place where he's buried." And he's talking about Dumbledore. And it's funny because we know this movie is either going to end with Grindelwald going to jail. He's not going to die. In the Wizarding World is going to be okay because I guess he's going to be locked up in whatever place he's going to be locked up. And I wish this was just a trilogy. It does not need to be 5 movies. And if they're going to end it, they need to set up for this next movie to be the end. There's no way there should be 2 more movies.
The one thing I think we brought up the whole Johnny Depp to Mads Mikkelsen situation. I just went and I looked at Grindelwald in Deathly Hallows Part 1, And I'll admit that this franchise has never been good at aging, because when we see these characters older, you're like, there's no fucking way they grew up to look like that. Like, there's no way you went from Johnny Depp to Mads Mikkelsen to the dude in Deathly Hallows Part 1. That is not humanly possible. Like,
same thing with Jude Law. You're gonna tell me Jude Law
you're gonna tell me Jude Law turned into Richard Wright.
Same thing with McGonagall. McGonagall looks like she's fucking 15.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. McGonagall shows up twice in this movie and they don't do nothing with her.
Yo, I'm she comes back convinced. I'm convinced this geek is trolling me, bro. I'm not convinced that girl was McGonagall, bro.
She says McGonagall. Okay. She says McGonagall when he opens the door.
I didn't know it was McGonagall, except for when the second time he makes the comment, "Oh, thank you, Miss McGonagall," and I'm like, "Are you telling me that this is the sequel from the movie?"
Yes.
Like, I don't.
That's Maggie Smith as a younger.
That's not
person.
Maggie Smith.
Right.
McGonagall is top 5 characters for me, and she's just a faceless nobody.
Yeah,
literally.
She's
4 and 5. They'll make McGonagall a big thing.
That's what it is.
I didn't even know she was in this movie until Alex told me, bro.
She's a name drop for the fans.
It's like, literally just a name drop. Yeah,
just like when they show Hogwarts. When you see Hogwarts, you hear the dun 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 dun. You hear the music.
You see the fucking
you see the snitch,
and you're like,
the golden snitch, and you see somebody, you see the little seekers flying, like, oh, that's nice. But that's
one thing that got annoying, I'll admit, is that scene when they're fighting the guys and they're trying to get the suitcase up. There was a lot of visual references to the franchise. I'm like, okay, I fucking get it.
I ain't gonna lie. I love the score when all the things start coming out of the suitcase. I love that they do that score.
I'm not gonna lie. I smiled so hard when I seen the book from Prisoner of Azkaban. I was like,
the guy's arm off.
I was fine with it, but it was this close to being Ready Player One, where I'm like,
yeah, I can see that.
Here to be here, and I was like, you're really like, if they would have done it for 30 more minutes, I would have been like, you're Ready Player One now. You have no relevance.
Listen, maybe that's what this franchise needs to fucking do at this point, because we don't care. We don't care. This movie ends, and I didn't really have any emotions. I was just like, okay.
Like, I was happy, but same thing over and over again. It's gonna be, oh, Grindelwald is back. We're gonna fight Grindelwald, and then Grindelwald and then Grindelwald is back, and we're gonna. I feel like that's a thing too. We know no one's gonna die, so it's not. There is no weight.
I don't want to say no one, because they could kill these characters.
We know that we don't know if Queenie, Jacob, Tina, or Newt. We don't even know if Newt is alive, because they don't reference them in the Harry Potter
universe.
They're not
killing Jacob. They're not killing Jacob unless he's going to be a sacrifice in the 5th one, where he sacrificed.
I can see him being a sacrifice. I can definitely see him being a sacrifice.
I think he's going to get the Neville Longbottom. I don't think he's going to sacrifice. I think he's going to be the key component to finally defeating Grindelwald, which doesn't matter because it's not going to kill him. So it doesn't matter.
So the question is, will Queenie be the Black Widow, where she just like, she might Black Widow herself in the 5th movie? I don't know. I feel like they're building to something, but they're not telling us what they're building to.
I think at this point, we're not getting 2 more movies, man. I don't think we might even get the next movie if this movie don't do well.
They said
if this movie don't even do well, they're not going to do it.
They'll do it if it does well, and if this movie makes 45 million, we're probably getting another movie, because they said if it's going to make that overwhelmingly good, they're doing another movie, but they're going to have to restructure. They're going to have to cast someone else as Ezra Miller's character, which they can do because they did that with Dumbledore in the original franchise. Yeah.
I mean,
just do it that way.
Since we are in spoiler territory, so we're just gonna go throw it right at the bag.
Yeah, like he's his son,
he's
Aberforth's
Dumbledore. That's his son. Ezra Miller is his son. And I was confused because I thought they were like siblings instead of being like that, the actual, like, a nephew or a son. I did not expect that, which I did like that, because I'm like, okay, him being a brother doesn't make any sense at all, because we don't know the age gap between them. I still don't buy it. I don't buy that they're related. I just don't even related to Aberforth at that. I just didn't. I just don't like Ezra Miller in this movie. I just don't like him in these movies. He's not
so,
very good.
dude,
he's so monotone.
This,
if you want to,
this
he's
little
like
piece
fucking,
of this little piece of cotton has more charisma
yes,
than Ezra Miller in this movie, bro.
Say it again,
I
bro.
looked
This
at
scene
my
where
wall
he
the
the
other
scene that
day
he has a
and had more
Queenie, bro.
charisma.
No,
The scene
that's
that
not
he has
even
a
that,
Queenie,
dude.
dude.
That's another scene. That scene, I said this in my review. I'm gonna say this again. That scene when Queenie was delivering her dialogue, it reminded me of the scene in Aladdin where she was pretending, where Jasmine was pretending to be hypnotized, and she was acting like she was crazy, and she was pretending that Abu was the fucking witch doctor or something. That's what she looked like to me. But not even that scene. The scene with Dumbledore, where they're talking about how he's not his actual brother, that he's his nephew or whatever. The line delivery from Ezra Miller was so bland. This was how it was. It was like, I'm not your son, or I'm not your brother. I'm your nephew. Did you know? Did you even try to get me? Does he know? I'm sitting there like, dude, emote.
It was a great action sequence. You're talking about action sequence, right? The action sequence. Yeah, that was a great action sequence, though. The one thing I can't say about this movie that the battles in this movie, the action sequences are dope. Like I said, third act is a great third act. I love the build up with the cases and everything. I love that in the moment where they're getting the cases. Dumbledore's like, Jacob, you come, Mr. Cross, you come with me. And he grabs the case. He's like, no. Not that one. He gives him like, nah, and he grabs on. He's like, okay, and he's like, oh, come on. And he's like, I want to know what this game you're talking about. I do like Jude Law in this movie. After thinking it over, I do like Jude Law as Dumbledore. He really does bring a smile to my face because you would feel like this will be that character. Clearly, something happens that he becomes the Dumbledore we know and love in these other movies. But I could buy that. Oh yeah, this would be a younger version of him because of the stuff that he's been through. Jacob is MVP. Facts.
Oh yeah, I want to talk about the trailers for a second. They put a line in the trailer that got me and Alex super hyped. And when they said it in this movie, and I saw the impact that it had on the movie, I was like, "You got to be fucking kidding me!" It was the line where they were looking at the whatever thing in Hogwarts, and Newt answers the question, and he goes, "Oh, good, 3 points to Hufflepuff." And then we get nothing after that. Yeah, nothing. We don't get any points. No, nothing.
Well, to me, we kind of probably took it a little too much because he's not in school, obviously. So he just said it just as he knows he used to be a student. So he's going to say, okay, you know how you get something right. Okay, yeah, 3 points to you. But he's just saying that it's like, okay, yeah, you want a cookie like that. Like, something like in that type of realm. It was more of a joke than an actual line that involved the story, which I do get what you mean.
I wish we had at least a scene where Dumbledore. Don't they walk in on him teaching? Right? They walk in on him teaching.
Not in this one. That's in. I don't think that's even in the That's in the second movie where they walks in.
Well, or they walk in. They walk into the dining area and there's a bunch of students. Or
the Great Hall. They're sitting there having.
I wish we would have gotten a scene where the kids are like doing stuff and Dumbledore's teaching, and then he's like, "Oh, 3 points to blah blah blah. 3 points to blah blah blah." Like it would have been cool.
Well, we get a good scene with Jacob sitting with the kids, and he's like, "Oh no, you can't touch the wand, can't touch the wand." Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Oh yeah, he's like, oh, there's a whole bunch of little wizards around here." I did lie. Jacob is the MVP. He's great, and I love that he's like, "Okay, some Slytherin kids gave me this stuff."
That was hilarious.
I've had that. It's not very good. And he's like, "Oh," he looks back at the kids, and they're all laughing like, "Ha ha ha." He's like, "Oh, you motherfuckers!" it's hilarious.
Kevin thought that one of the kids was Lucius.
No, that's impossible.
Well, yeah, I don't know. That's what he said to me. He was like, "Oh, I think it's Lucius." I was like,
"No,
I don't fucking care if it is or isn't."
No, it's funny because my girl thought Credence was Snape, and I'm like, "Oh, that doesn't make any sense because Snape is technically he doesn't exist yet because these movies take place like movies take place like 50 to 60 years before the events of Harry Potter even started. So none of the characters we know and love, besides the characters like McGonagall or Dumbledore, exist. Like there's no Voldemort or nothing like that as we know of today." So yeah. I'm gonna get in the chat. Emma says, what's your favorite battle in The Hobbit? We're not talking about The Hobbit right now, so I don't even want to think about that. And do you think Lord Voldemort was the
franchise
best villain?
that didn't need prequels?
If you want to, you talking about compared to Grindelwald, Voldemort's a better villain than Grindelwald. Yes, he is.
If we're saying best villain of the franchise, yes. If we're saying best villain in cinematic history, no. Lord Voldemort is in no way the best villain ever.
That goes to Darth Vader.
Here goes to Darth Vader. I agree. He's top 5.
Darth Vader's good.
In my opinion, he's top 5.
I even say Darth Vader. Darth Vader's good, really good.
I'm not just saying that because I'm wearing a Darth Vader t-shirt. I legitimately think that.
But yeah,
what were we talking about?
Spoilers. Just go ahead and just start throwing out spoilers.
I don't know, man. I don't know what spoilers to give.
Oh, okay. So the scene with the scorpions, I really like the scene with the scorpions, but I do
the little wiggle. It
was hilarious. The scene. I will tell you this. Up until that point, that was the best scene. That was the best scene in the movie up to that point, and I was like, wow! It took them like an hour and 15 minutes to make me like smile. That dinner scene. The dinner scene didn't happen yet, did it?
I think it was at the same time.
It was happening. Yeah, it was happening at the same time.
The dinner after. No, the dinner scene happened after because they kidnapped what's his face.
Okay, right. Because because he because I was trying to figure out. Yeah, because is that the same scene where they acknowledge they let go of Grindelwald? Grindelwald gets free of all his stuff that he's done. He's actually a free man, and he gets
kidnapped Theseus.
Yeah, that's the same scene. That's where he gets captured, and that's when Newt goes to find him.
That scene, I really like that scene, but when you look at it overall in the movie, it's an absolute waste of time because it is literally used as a plot device and to take up time because Theseus gets kidnapped. Because the whole thing in the movie is, we need to do a whole bunch of shit that Grindelwald thinks that we're going to do, but we're not actually doing it because apparently he can see the future now because he kills the thingy, the fawn. What is it called again?
The crinoline? No. What the thing? What is it
called?
What was it? Chilling. Yeah,
that was the thing last night. I forgot the shit like 15 times last night.
I couldn't remember it either.
First of all, the opening scene with the chilling I thought was really heartwarming, and I love seeing those scenes with
Newt with the creatures, man.
It's so happy. Like I love seeing that stuff. You know,
he genuinely loves his job. He loves his job when it comes to saving beasts and making sure they're safe.
So the whole movie, I was like, what in the fuck does this thing have to do with the whole movie? They took way too long to establish what that was. And the reason I say that is because if they had established that right when he enchanted it, I guess, after he killed it, and we were like, he's going to rig the election, I would have been like, okay, that's interesting. And then during the election, we would have been like, is it going to work? Is it not going to work? Well, what's going to happen? And then when it works, we would have been like, that dastardly prick Grindelwald, he got away with it. You know, they took way too long.
It's weird because this is the first movie we get involved in the politics when it comes to the Wizarding World. Because in the Harry Potter movies, it's funny because we go through 3 ministries of magic in a matter of a span of like 2 movies, not in 1 movie, because Cornelius Fudge drops out, someone else takes his place, then that guy dies, and Lord Voldemort puts someone else in the place of being the Ministry of Magic.
I think that it's because it's from a point of view. The movies were from the point of view of Harry, and in the first few movies, he was a kid, didn't understand politics, but when he got older, there was more of the politics because he got older and knew more about it. But I think this franchise, because it's from the point of view of adults, there is more of this because adults would know the politics of what's going on.
I guess it would affect them more than it does do some kids, I guess.
If you think about it, like Phantom Menace doesn't have a lot of politics, but Attack of the Clones, specifically Revenge of the Sith, gets really deep into the politics, like heavily.
Benji, what movie did you watch, bro?
Phantom Menace gets involved with a lot of politics.
Bro, there's a scene in Phantom Menace. No, bro, there's a scene in Phantom Menace. And it's ironic because we watched Phantom Menace before I saw this movie. There was a scene in Phantom Menace that was literally repeated
like this scene,
in Crimes of Grindelwald. This movie. I was
like, you're right,
there was a scene in this movie. I'm like, dude, this is straight out of Phantom Menace.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I was thinking the franchise was from the point of view of Anakin, but no, the prequels are from the point of view of Obi-Wan. And
Obi-Wan technically is the main character.
He's the main character. Stay of that franchise. It's from his eyes, so it makes sense. Yeah.
But yeah, it's weird because, like I said, we've never seen this happen before, and I never knew that they actually had a animal judge who was being elected. That's what the idea was. He rigged the election because he knew this this creature will pick who was pure at heart, regardless of what they've done. Because no one is technically pure at heart, but if you have if you're good, then it's gonna bow to you and consider you worthy enough for the throne and or for the be a head of magic. And I do love that the creature goes to Dumbledore. He goes to Dumbledore and bows to him. He's like, no, I don't want it. Like, there's someone else here that is generally on this level. I do not want this. I appreciate it. And it's funny because I guess it's a nod to later movies when the Ministry of Magic think Dumbledore's after his job and he wants to be the head of ministry, when Dumbledore don't give a fuck about that. He doesn't care at all. He just wants to stop the threat. That's what his main goal is. He doesn't care about being the head of magic. He doesn't want that. He's trying to stop. He's like Harry in the sense. He doesn't want the fame.
He just wants eternal glory.
Yeah, like the element that's interesting, I think, because you brought up earlier the idea of like the movie talks about we want to do things that don't make sense so that we can trick someone who can see the future. I think that I don't know. I feel like that's a little bit of an excuse so they can throw logic out the window for this movie, because there's a lot of logic situations where I'm like, yeah, and in their way of patching it up is we're doing something that like Grindelwald wouldn't see, and I'm just like, okay, there's just a lot of it's like
when the scenes were happening when he killed the Chilling and like his blood started splattering the water and he can see images of things happening that he thinks is going to happen, and I'm like, okay, what are they going with this? And then we get the scene with them talking about, okay, Grindelwald has the ability to see the future, so we have to kind of counter react how he would think our plan would go. And I do like this angle because I think Tyler said
angle.
It had like a Mission Impossible like feel to it a little bit when it comes to their plan, which I did like.
There were moments that the logic didn't make sense though, and I feel like they just kind of cut corners when it came to the third act because they wanted to get to the end. The second and third act, they wanted to get there, and I feel like their excuse is, well, like, we're trying to do things that don't make sense. So then when they throw in these reveals that no one really cares about, you're like, oh, okay, it's really just their excuse is that, oh, we're trying to be different, and we're trying to be
like Yusuf coming at the end acting like he's a bad guy, and he just turns around.
Like Yusuf's thing, I have a problem with it because I feel like it's unearned because they don't give enough of him. They kind of like, oh, he's going to the bad side, but then they don't do anything with it. And they're like, oh, it's good now again.
It's weird because I thought the scene Grindelwald comes to him, and I thought he got revealed that he wasn't. He knew that he was not there for him. Like he knew that something was off. So I thought he got. Like I thought, okay, Grindelwald figure out their plan. Now they have to change it. I guess it didn't come out like that because Yusuf was still with them, acting like he was the bad guy, and he wasn't.
It felt like episode 9, or was it episode 9 with Hux, where he's like,
I'm the spy.
That's episode 9. Yeah.
That's what it felt like. I was like, this is unearned, and I don't know why this is. Because we knew from the start he was a good guy.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's why it wasn't unearned, because it was supposed to flip his plan. It was supposed to throw off Grindelwald's thought of what they were going to do, which I did like. So I think also Jacob acting like he was going to go after Grindelwald was a part of the plan too, I guess, which was weird because I thought, no, he did that on his own initiative because of Queenie. But I guess that wasn't the plan. I guess that was it because he was happy, like, oh, I'm the assassin. He was happy about it. And okay, maybe that was a part of their plan, which is weird. But go ahead, Tyler. You're a little quiet over there.
No, I'm just letting you guys go. I did enjoy the part with the briefcases. I thought it was funny. Jacob, once again, I loved one of my favorite dialogue scenes. It might have been my favorite dialogue scene in the movie is when Dumbledore pulls him aside and Jacob is freaking out. He's like, I don't want to do this. And Dumbledore's like, listen, just drop the case and run whenever you think you're in danger, bro. Yeah. You are one of the most purest people I know. And I'm like, Jacob.
Yeah. He basically confirmed that he didn't have the Chilling. You don't have it, bro. You can just drop the case when you feel like you're in danger. And you're right. That is one of the best scenes in the movie. He basically just assured Jacob, like, You are one of the smartest people, one of the bravest people I ever met. Like, you put yourself first and you don't even know us. Like, technically, he didn't know any of this stuff, and he was willing to put himself out there and help us. And like, I agree, he's going to be the Neville of this franchise. He's going to be one, going to be a key factor in stopping.
And I loved when I think Newt and someone else got caught, and you see Jacob like walk past them, and he's just like, "Oh." He just walks past them.
I noticed. You noticed that? I was losing it. So like, is he just act like he's a regular person? Because it was Newt. Newt got he see two guys, and it's Newt looking at him, and then you see Jacob like, "Hi," and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna hit him with the case," poof, and then just runs away.
Also,
we didn't talk about Hicks.
For the I was just gonna say, for the Alien fans, we got two characters, Hicks and Newt, in Harry Potter.
Right.
All we need is a Ripley.
Yeah, I like Hicks in this movie. I feel like her line delivery was a little over the top, a little bit, the way she delivered her lines.
At this point, bro, this franchise needs a little over the top, bro. It's either we get really good or boring and vanilla. We need a little over the top, bro.
Wait, which one was Hicks?
The teacher,
the girl that showed up in the beginning, that went to Jacob.
Yeah, they act like she's being attacked. And then Jacob comes out. It's hilarious. I did like her.
I want to see. I hope she comes back. I want to see more of her. She was great. I guess she was the. Also, were they kind of teasing that her and Theseus were going to be a thing at the end of the movie?
I think so. They was putting them together a lot in these movies. Yeah, I could see that happening.
Also, I did appreciate that Theseus got a little bit more to do in this movie. He felt like an actual character.
I like that. I like that he was actually involved. I like that him. Now I want more scenes with him and Newt. That's what I want, because they're supposedly they're brothers, but people don't even know that they're brothers unless they say it in the movie.
I think that they're gonna kill him in the next movie, or the other, because they need to give Newt something to do, and that is definitely something to do. Queenie, I thought they absolutely wasted Queenie in this movie.
Underutilized again.
They set something up really good for her. And in this movie, again, it's not the actress's fault. It's just how she's written. What do? She just stands there, looks sad, cries, and walks past Jacob, which I did like the stuff with Jacob. That's fine. But most of that is because of Jacob. Right. And, we get one good scene where she's like, "Oh, I'm just faking or whatever. I want to be with you, blah, 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 blah." Yeah. And then it ends with them getting married, which we don't even see the fucking wedding.
Yeah, I don't understand why they didn't show the wedding though. That really upset me. It's like they don't want to show weddings or funerals, because I feel like that in Half-Blood Prince.
We didn't get it for Dumbledore either.
We should have got Dumbledore's funeral. We deserved that, because Dumbledore is a huge character, and just like in this movie, I feel like we've earned to see Queenie and Jacob get married, because I was upset in the beginning of this movie when they weren't together. He has the vision of her walking in and he's hugging her, and it's not even her. It's just in his mind, and it's very upsetting because Jacob is going through a lot with these movies, because she went to the dark side in the last movie. And I agree. I think they underutilized her as a character. Obviously, she has the ability to read minds and know what you guys are thinking and feeling, and I do like that. It's like, okay, that's all she can do. And what else can she do?
Interesting. I like that scene, like the scene of like her showing up and not showing up because she's a ghost. And I was like, I hated the scene until they revealed it was not there. And I was like, well, that's better. But for me, I felt like the first 20 minutes, 30 minutes of the movie were just a collection of scenes that they threw together because they had to answer questions that people had. And I didn't like that. I was like, why? But that's probably the best scene of the first act of the movie, was him standing there being like, "Oh, you're back," and then realizing that it's in his head and shit because he's like depressed. And it's like, that's probably the best scene of that whole first act.
And then the end. Oh, we didn't talk about Tina. Tina does show up
Tina shows up, but it doesn't look like Tina.
Yeah, she doesn't look like herself.
It looks like her face was on someone else's body. Like they CGI'd that shit. There's
Catherine
no
Morrison looks very unwell, and I genuinely hope she's okay. I hope that she didn't risk her health to be in this movie. I hope that she wasn't in bed and she was like, she got the phone call.
She was in two shots.
She was like, "All right, Jake. All right. All right, let's go. Let's do this." No, I hope that she's okay, because she did look a little unwell. But for some bizarre reason, even though I don't like her character, for some reason when she showed up, I smiled so hard. And I think it was because of Newt, because Newt was like a little kid when she showed up. He
Lady
was
Ray
so happy. And that moment was just great. And I genuinely think it was because of Newt. He was just so happy to see her again. And I was like, oh.
Then we get then we get another nice moment with Newt and Dumbledore, which I do like their little moments they have in these scenes. You know, we basically say thank you for helping me out again. Like until next time. He's like, yeah, you know that it's gonna be a next time. I agree with you. I think Eddie Redmayne is great in these movies. I think this is actually a time when I accepted him as his character, and I'm probably gonna like him when I rewatch these other movies even more because of this movie. I'm really buying him as his character. Because at first I was off because maybe that's the way his character is written, and I didn't accept it. And after watching all these movies back to back leading up to this, I've just accepted this is just the way his character acts, and it's great. He sells it. He nails it. He's great in these
That's
movies.
Interesting. I read into it. She shot two scenes, and you know what happened? She got COVID from shooting Fantastic Beasts.
Wow.
She caught COVID on the set, and she shot literally two scenes.
Yeah, that's it. She was only in two shots in the movie. She's only in two shots. She's one shot where she's standing in the crowd.
She's not in it is not because she's sick. It's because she said fuck J.K. Rowling because she trashed trans people. But like,
story. I remember that.
That's the reason she's not in it. Is she said, "Well, I respect trans people," and J.K. Rowling was like, "Well, fuck you. Your character's not in the movie anymore."
Wow.
That's what happened. But
it was funny when they throw out the excuse of why I was funny when they throw out the excuse of why she wasn't in the movie because they didn't develop it at first. Newt was just like, "Oh yeah, she's off in another place working," and he didn't say anything, and I was like, "That's it." And then they said it later, like, "Oh, she's really busy doing whatever." But that first sentence when he said that, I was like, "You got to be kidding me, bro! That's what you that's how you wrote that in."
You know, it's always one little small line they say just to write off characters when they know the real reason why they're not in it, and they have to just give an example of why, give a reason why they're not there, just because the audience is asking the same question. Like, you know, it's an audience like, where's Tina in this whole situation? Because remember, we were saying that when the movie was coming out, like, is Tina even in this movie?
Yeah,
because we don't see a character poster. We see she's in the IMDb listing, but no character poster, no trailer, none. She's not in any of the trailers. So she obviously isn't in it, and no, she wasn't. She was only in two scenes. She obviously get a credit because she was in those scenes, but that's it. Like she's very not thought of in this movie.
We haven't talked about Mads Mikkelsen.
Mads Mikkelsen.
I like him better than Johnny Depp.
Me too.
But I've always loved Mads Mikkelsen, though. I think that Johnny Depp is a great actor, but Mads Mikkelsen has always been someone that I love. Everything he does, you know, anything from Another Round, The Hunt to, you know, any of these North American flicks where he plays a villain. I've loved his stuff, you know, anything from like, you know, his European movies to his North American movies. He's always good in them. So I've always respected him. So when I heard he was cast, I'm like, well, that's awesome because he's a much, I would say, more complex actor than Johnny Depp is. So it's going to bring that level of something to the character that maybe wasn't there before. But I liked him. I really liked him in this movie.
Yeah, I would say he looks and feels more threatening than Johnny Depp, and I feel like Mads Mikkelsen fits better in this world than Johnny Depp does. And I did like Johnny Depp in Crimes of Grindelwald. I did, but I just feel like Mads Mikkelsen fits better in this world than Johnny Depp does, at least in my opinion.
For me, it's a give or take situation. I did like Johnny Depp a lot, and I felt really bad with what happened. But I will say that I don't think Mads Mikkelsen is all that better. I like them about the same. The one thing I will say that Mads Mikkelsen did better than Johnny Depp is that Johnny Depp, I would say, he didn't have as good chemistry with Jude Law as Mads Mikkelsen does. Mads Mikkelsen definitely has better chemistry. And watching this movie, I could not see Johnny Depp in the scenes that they were together in.
Right.
I would say that.
Same.
And that I guess that's the advantage that he has. And I will say that this is a more serious version of Grindelwald, because realistically, Grindelwald and Crimes with Grindelwald was over the top, but look who you have playing him. You know, I do like this grounded version of Grindelwald more, but I would say in terms of acting performances, I don't think it was that much better or worse than the previous.
When you watch, you got to watch another round of The Hunt, and when you see that, you'll be like, "Damn, he's really fucking good." I liked. I know you didn't like, but I liked the scene in the restaurant. The scene in the restaurant, I was like, "Wow, this is really really good." Like back and forth for two characters, two very accomplished actors doing a back and forth about, you know, and then they're giving us a little bit as the thing goes on. You know, he brings the whole thing about us, about me. You didn't care about me, you care about us. I'm like, okay, I liked that scene. It felt very much like it wasn't a fantasy movie scene, like a sci-fi fan. It felt like it was a drama. Like this is, you know, a dialogue you would find in a drama that people would give, you know, that people would love. And I like those scenes. I like the scene where he's all being friendly and he's talking about, you know, I'll take the memory of your sister out of your head and shit. And that's such a good scene too. It's just like Mads Mikkelsen is just, he's likable evil, and it's like really interesting. Because I like Johnny Depp, but he's kind of too over the top for some things. And Mads Mikkelsen is more grounded, just like how was it Hugo Weaving? You know, who played Snape? Ralph Fiennes.
Ralph Fiennes.
I think that he was
not
grounded.
Snape, Voldemort.
He was crazy, but he was grounded. You know,
you mean Voldemort, not Snape? You was talking about Voldemort.
I mean Voldemort, but also Snape. Also, Alan Rickman was also grounded. You know, he had a little aura of crazy, but he was grounded. And I think that Johnny Depp was too crazy, and Mads Mikkelsen is grounded enough where it's believable, and I can respect that.
Yeah, for sure. I did, regardless of how short the scene is. So at the end of everything, they find out that the Krillin, is that's what it's called? Chillin. The Chillin is not real as Bewitched. They finally figure out the cases are, you know, dismantled. They figure out none of them have the case. We found that the assistant shows up with the twin. We found out there's twins, and it actually does, like I said, reveals who actually is worthy to be the head of the magic. It picks the other lady. I don't know. I think she was. I don't know. Was she in office before? Who was in office first? I don't know who was in office first. No, we don't know, obviously.
But the Hufflepuff girl.
She's a Hufflepuff? We don't.
It's yellow. It's yellow, and Grindelwald is green for Slytherin.
That doesn't mean she's Hufflepuff. I don't know if they confirmed that.
Do it in a way where it's like parties based on these lineages.
I thought they did it based off territory, because they showed a lot of different, like they showed. I don't know if it was China or Hong Kong. You see, they showed different nations, which
you know what that scene reminded me of when they revealed that it was Bewitched and they chose the other girl instead, the Chillin. It reminded me of that scene in Spider-Man: Homecoming when Spider-Man, he thinks he saves everyone on the boat, and the guy's like, "Yeah, Spider-Man," and then the shit starts breaking apart, and then Iron Man saves everyone, and he's like, "Yeah, Iron Man, let's go." That's exactly what that scene reminded me of, because they were all like, "Grindelwald, yay!" And then the other girl won, and they're like, "Yay, other girl, yeah, woo!"
It's random. Yeah, that's
I
weird.
was like, okay, I guess.
But then we get the scene where Credence come up. It's like, "Oh, he's lying, blah blah. He's lying to you guys, and he's dying because of the thing inside of him is killing him." And Grindelwald's like, "Okay, well, we didn't talk about the part he literally did the Cruciatus curse on Jacob, because he doesn't like non-magic or Muggleborns."
I thought he was gonna die. I literally whispered over to Kevin. I said, "If they do what I think they're gonna fucking do, I swear to God, I will walk out right now."
I mean, he just did the Cruciatus curse, which was crazy because he kept doing it to him. It was crazy.
If it's not in the last movie, if you do it before the last movie, you fucked up. Okay, I refuse to watch a Harry Potter movie without Jacob Kowalski.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
I don't care what anyone says.
He's too essential to the franchise. I don't think they're going to do that. But then we get where Grindelwald tries to kill Credence, and Dumbledore stops. It was Dumbledore and Aberforth who it was. It was two spells that collided together to stop him from killing it. I didn't know you can do that, which was pretty dope. But I love that they keep doing it. And it breaks the blood curse because
I'm not gonna lie. This might have been the only moment in this entire trilogy so far that legitimately made me say, "Holy shit!"
Yeah, for sure.
When the thing broke, I said, "Oh shit! They about to throw down, bro."
Yeah, for sure.
That's the only moment I've ever gotten hyped throughout this entire franchise.
And they did though, like for the little moments that they did, I do like the way they use magic in these movies. Like when they like the scene they're basically like dodging the spells, but he's apparating he's operating around to dodge the spells. I love that. I love those moments in these movies. It does end pretty weird with them like standoffish and holding each other's hearts, and it ends weird. It does, but
it's very gay.
It's not that it's gay. It's just that why?
It's very gay. Them holding each other like that. I'm like, damn, this is like some homoerotic shit going on right now, but.
And they actually had a wizard duel. I was like, holy shit, you're actually doing it.
Yeah.
Keep doing it. I was like, holy shit. Yeah. And then all of those wizards become grade A idiots. They're just looking at Grindelwald, and he's just standing there. And then they just
it's funny because they have a moment where he's able to cast a shield around him and get away.
He just walks. He just and they're just looking. And then eventually he's like, all right, I'm gonna tell myself, woof, and then they're like, oh, wait a minute, we have wands. Pew 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 pew. It reminded me of Aladdin when Abu is holding them at gunpoint with the sword, and they're like, wait a minute, we've got swords too.
Everything comes back to Aladdin. He's got a sword, you idiot. We all got swords.
And then he's just like, all right, got a blast, woof, and disappears. I'm like, you guys suck. Bro.
Yeah, it felt like another issue of TV. Like, oh, he got away. Guess we got to get him next time. Next time on Fantastic Beasts. How would they get Grindelwald next? And I really want another one. And
Magic Channel.
I hope it's the last one. I really hope that they restructure. But okay, we got to end this franchise because I don't think we're gonna want to sit through 2 more movies with dealing with Grindelwald. I really don't. I said in my review, I like Grindelwald. He's an interesting character, but he's not interesting enough for me to follow these next 2 movies about him. I do not care anymore at all. We know that Dumbledore and Grindelwald has an established relationship. You guys set that up already. Let's end this shit at this point.
I'd rather get 2 more movies of this than Cursed Child. Frankly,
I don't want to sit through 2 more movies. I think one more. That's it.
Cursed Child would waste that shit.
I think they're not doing Cursed Child. They're not doing Cursed Child.
This is what I was thinking throughout this movie. This movie would definitely work better as a season of television. Definitely this movie in particular. I was watching this movie. I was like, the movie does not work as a whole 2 hour and 20-minute movie, but as a maybe 5, 6, 7 episode season of television, it would work. There would be filler, but it would work.
Yeah, because that's what this movie felt like. It felt like it was a lot of filler, a lot of things.
I think that's what they should have done with this franchise. They should have just made it a show instead of making it 3 movies.
Yeah, I agree. We got any more final thoughts? I think we touched on a lot of the spoilers, stuff, our thoughts on it. You guys got any more final thoughts before we head into our final main topic of the show?
No, I'm kind of just over this franchise.
Expelliarmus.
If we get 2 more, this is what I wanted to talk about. So apparently, this movie opened to the lowest opening of the 3, including.
Yeah, we're not getting 2 more movies,
and that's a joke. And I think that people are finally speaking up with their wallets, and they're like, "Fuck this shit. We've had enough."
It's crazy when people forget that this movie. I was forgetting that this movie is coming out. I'm like, fuck, Fantastic Beasts is coming out. I was talking about this on Instagram. I didn't know the movie existed.
It is coming out. Like that's at least 4 movies this year so far. I've been like, oh yeah, they are coming out this year. I completely forgot.
Right. But yeah, that's upsetting. So do we got a final number? I know it's still Sunday, but do we got a final number of when it's coming out? What the number is right now? How much they made over at least these last 2 days?
The opening was 43 million.
Okay, but it's COVID though, so it's hard to compare numbers between when it first came out. But
dude,
go ahead.
I'm sorry, bro. When you got No Way Home making the money it does, and the Batman even pulling in the numbers that it did, that's COVID is not an excuse.
COVID's not an excuse anymore. Because
and this is Harry Potter, bro.
My theaters are 100% without masks, without vaccine mandates.
So was mine, and my theater was empty.
My theater wasn't. My theater was empty too.
There's no way. There's
my theater. I
had maybe like 5 people in my theater yesterday.
Yeah, my theater is pretty empty too. I think everyone's sitting right in that middle section, and that was it. It was literally no one in that theater. I think I had a whole row to myself again, like I did for Ambulance. I had a whole row to myself. Me and my fiance could have laid down like straight ahead and feeling in. We would have been good. But it is what it is. It's I hopefully the movie makes its money back, but if it doesn't, I mean, this is the end. It's weird because it ends in an abrupt way. I guess 150 million.
It's not going to make its money back because there's a gradual drop. I'm guessing it's going to drop 25-30% next week, meaning that it's going to make like 20. So that makes 60. And then it drops again 25%, 20%, goes to 10, 70.
That's what I'm saying.
Not going to make 150 million.
He said opening night was 43. My guess is probably over the weekend it's going to make at least, because like I say, they count Monday too.
No, opening night was not 43 million.
No, weekend.
There's no way.
Opening weekend? Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay.
It's not going to make $150 million.
No, that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, we count this is the last one. Hopefully, who knows? I guess we'll see what the box office return in the long run if it does gradually make its money back. But who knows? But the only problem I have with it is that it ends abruptly. Like this doesn't feel like the ending when they should have just did that. They should have just made this the end. They made it an epic climax, but they just definitely didn't. It felt like this is a third installment of a franchise that we still got to wait 2 more movies for. But it is what it is. WB, get your shit together. J.K. Rowling, get your shit together, please.
Warner Brothers should get their shit together with everything.
Any more final thoughts, you guys?
No.
All right. Let's go ahead and move on to our final topic of the day.
I was just looking at my pile.
Physical media. Physical media talk, baby. Benji, we're gonna start with you first.
Okay, I'm showing off. I'll show off everything I haven't shown off on the channel. A lot of these I showed off on my video I did recently about collection because recently over the last little bit I've been getting more into doing it again because the fact I have a player and stuff to do it. So a lot of these were on sale. A lot of these are sale, like there were movies that were on sale that I found over the last few months, maybe 4 or 5 months that I found. All Criterions except for one. One is a Scream Factory. So I got to do a Scream Factory first, and that is in my video I did, my vlog video. I got Firestarter, which is really good, really fun movie. Anyone who hasn't seen it should see it since there's like a new one coming out next month. Probably one of the more fun of the Stephen King adaptions that came out. It's just a fun movie. And then the rest of them were all Criterions that I've gotten over several months. A lot of them were cheap. A lot of them were secondhand, actually, that I found that were like cheaper. So what do we got? We got The Cremator. It's a movie from the Czech Republic from the 60s. All I'm going to say, it's a guy who's a cremator. That's all I'm going to say because there's so much in the movie that I don't want to spoil. But it's a good movie. And then this is a movie called Wanda that I got too that was cheap. It's this girl, Barbara Loden. She directed, wrote, and acted in this movie. This is her one and only movie. And it's just about a woman. It's a hard luck drama about a woman just existing in the 70s with children, losing custody of her children and trying to exist. It's good. And for the price that it was, I was like, yeah, that'd be cool to add it to the collection. And then there's this one. This might be one of my favorites in this list. This and the big box one. The Red Shoes, one of the greatest movies ever made, about a girl who wants to be a dancer and becomes a dancer for she has to do a play called The Red Shoes, and she meets a guy who wants to make music for a play. They fall in love. They make The Red Shoes, and the legacy of it exists. The ending's wild. All I'm gonna say is the ending's crazy. I forgot the ending, and I watched it again in the theater a few months ago. I'm like, yeah, wild ending from the 40s. Interesting. I think it's an American film, so that's cool. This one was also cheap. I like this one. Terrence Malick's first film, Badlands. Essentially, it's just Martin Sheen and Sissy Spacek going across the American Midwest, killing people on their way to Canada to because he kills her father. He's 25, she's 15. They literally are going across country. Because he killed her father and was like, what do we do now? We killed someone, so they just continue to kill people. It's an hour and a half of that, and it's a fun movie. I'll say it's really fun. That was Terrence Malick before Terrence Malick started making movies about grass. This one, I had to get it because this is one of my favorite movies of all time. This is my favorite out of the ones that I've gotten so far recently, and that's obviously David Lynch's Mulholland Drive. A movie about Hollywood and the seedy underbelly of Hollywood. Great performances from Naomi Watts. And then we got Laura Herring is also, it's just great performances, great director. I like movies about Hollywood, and this one's not so much a happy movie about Hollywood, but a movie about, the dream factory, so to speak, of LA and the movie making factory, that the underbelly of it all. It's got some things I still don't understand because it's David Lynch. Like, what does the cowboy mean? I really don't know, but still a really great movie. And then these two are DVDs because I like collecting Criterion, and some of these Criterions, they haven't transferred them to Blu-rays or 4Ks, so I just get the DVDs if they don't exist. I've got Alphaville, which is also, I would say, a really great movie, not one of the greatest of all time, not the best Jean-Luc Godard film, but it's got Anna Karina in it, and it's it's Anna Karina, and I can't remember the guy's name. It's Anna, but it's notable because Anna Karina. It's like this futuristic sci-fi. It's like a pulp novel. It's like a mystery. They're looking for a murderer, and it's a really interesting French film from 1965, and I saw this one on the Criterion Channel, and it was also it was a cheap DVD that's out of print that they're not selling anymore. That I was like, yep, I like the movie, I got to get it. And then I guess the last one, I found this one I guess also goes for a lot, and that is, it's a Canadian documentary about indigenous civilizations, and it's from 1920. This is number 33 of the Criterion collection, and this is 25. So they're like the first run, the first movies that they chose. And this one is really out of print. And I got it because it's Canadian. And I was also, I want to check this out. I don't really know what it is. I really like it. I don't like it as much as a lot of the other ones. I might sell this because it is worth a lot. But this was the last one. I found this one. I was like, I gotta get it. It goes for sometimes $100, just this, and I found it for a lot less than that. So that's the new stuff. That's the stuff that I showed in my last video when I wanted to make an update, so to speak, of just things that I have gotten recently, that I have gotten in the last several months since I started collecting again. But no, that's my whole pile. That's the physical media stuff I have at this point. But yeah.
Tyler.
So I only got one movie. It's the obvious one, so I'll save it for last. I got a couple Funko Pops. I like showing the pops. I let the Doctor Strange hype get to me, and I bought Scarlet Witch and Agatha from WandaVision. I really wanted this pop because I love the way this pop is made, and the Doctor Strange pop for Multiverse of Madness looks just like this. So I wanted to have them next to each other and have them match. And also, I love this Funko Pop. It looks gorgeous. And I got Agatha because when I get pops, I like to have them match. As you can see, I have them matching next to each other, heroes and villains and stuff like that. I don't know what I'm going to do when I get the Doctor Strange one. I don't know what I'm going to do with Agatha. I'll figure it out. But the next thing I got, PlayStation was sweet enough to bless us with a sale, their spring sale, and I bought pretty much every single Resident Evil video game that is
Every
in
single
existence. So I did have Resident Evil 2, 3, and Biohazard. So I purchased the first original Resident Evil 4, 5, 6, and I purchased Village physically yesterday because I saw it at GameStop for a good deal. So yeah, I have all of them. I deleted one, Resident Evil 0, because it's fucking terrible.
Oh, you deleted it?
Yes, I deleted it.
I didn't know you deleted it. That's hilarious.
Alex can zoom out so we can show my one piece of actual physical media at the same time. The Spider-Man No Way Home Best Buy Steelbook. This movie's trash. I don't know why I own it. Yeah, fuck this movie. I'm kidding. No Way Home is amazing. I can't believe I own it. I have it in my hand physically. I can pop it in at any time to see the 3 Spider-Man swinging at the same time.
Yes, sir.
And then
Steph might be Chuck, so I might want to watch it where I go upstairs.
And then the other movie that we're gonna be getting in a month is the Batman, the Steelbook. We all have that pre-ordered already. Yes, and it's gonna be on HBO Max tomorrow night. And
yes, sir.
And I went to go see it again for a 4th time last week because I love it so much. And I will be watching it again tomorrow for a 5th time because that movie is everything. But yeah, that's all I got in terms of physical media.
All right. Yeah, obviously, like I said, Tyler, we know we got got Spider-Man. I got the Steelbook. You guys want to check out my Blu-ray hunt video? Go check it out. I'm still doing a code giveaway for the digital codes for these two because I did buy the Target edition.
I'll take it.
Which I do like the Target edition. So these are the cards that's inside of it. I just flipped one and put it on the back so it can, have a nice little effect there. And then, of course, I bought the Walmart, the one that everyone wants. Everybody wanted, and I was able to get it in stores. And, I had a problem with ordering it because I tried to order it through Walmart's app, and it told me it was delayed. I'm like, okay, it's still saying delayed after the next day. That Tuesday, went into the Walmart and said, let's see if they have it in stores. They had 2 copies sitting on the shelf. I said, okay, let me go ahead and see what the people say. They said I basically just had to cancel the order and just buy this. So I had to wait like 2 days to get my money back from that order. But I do love this artwork. This artwork is so freaking dope. Tyler, just go ahead and just buy it online, man. Just go ahead and get it, man. You want your copy, bro. You want the Spurgeon. You want it.
No, I don't.
You want it, bro. You want it. You just like you want the Target one. Stop lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. Everyone in the comment section, let me know what you guys think of the Target exclusive because everyone does not like it. I feel like I'm the only person that likes it.
Can y'all tell this geek that he's smoking and that shit is straight horse shit, bro? Please.
Wait, what does the Target one look like?
I'm almost obligated to buy the DVD or the Blu-ray.
Yeah, that one kind of looks bad. I'm not gonna lie. That shit
looks like an arts and crafts project.
It looks worse.
The Walmart one looks the best. The
Walmart one is I don't know. I love the Steelbook, so I can't really say that I love it.
Because the Walmart one is the cover. The Walmart one is the poster of him.
This is the one. This is one they should have used. They should have just made the slipcover.
That's the best one.
This shouldn't have been the exclusive. This should have been just the slipcover. Or they should have used this artwork, the back artwork for the slipcover, because this is better. Yeah, the back art is better. At least do the one with the mask. Like they got one with him with the mask on and one with the mask off. They should have used that artwork. But the IMAX poster, they should have used the IMAX poster for the box art, but they did not. But that's not all I picked up. I finished all the season sets of One Tree Hill, so I have every single season of One Tree Hill on DVD now.
Can't wait for the sequel to Tree Hill.
A show that I've been collecting, and it's on HBO Max now. So I've been watching on HBO Max. And then I also picked up the Mansion of the Scooby-Doo Mansion, the complete series on Blu-ray with the Funko keychain. It was like $42 on Amazon. I've been eyeing this set for a long time. I remember going into FYE, and this thing was like $100. I said, I'm not spending $100 on this. Went on Amazon, and yes, it was only
you got it for more than half off.
Exactly. So that's everything that I picked
up. It's also
up.
FYE. FYE overprices all their shit.
Yeah, that's. I went in there and I was looking at the screen factors. I was so disappointed that they were charging.
They
so
have
much for the
Criterions
screen
that are
factors.
$70 on Blu-ray. There's no they are so overpriced. Like I was just in there today out of.
You think that's
curiosity.
overpriced? You walk into a Barnes and Noble, they'll charge you $35 for like the lowest common denominator DC movie on Blu-ray.
Yeah, that's the problem I have with FYE. I'll go in and I was telling you they had Wonder Woman 84 on sale for $20, which regular price is $25. It's like it's insane that's.
I mean, that's better than paying $30 for it on 4K day one, like me and Alex did.
Yeah.
Why did you buy that movie? That's the question.
Because we're completionists.
Just like I bought Matrix Resurrections. It's okay. We got Elliot in the chat saying, "My dude, what's going on?" We got Bruce Wayne saying, "What's up?"
This geek was like, "Oh, I'm not gonna buy it day one." He made it emphasis in his Blu-ray hunting video. "Oh, I didn't buy Matrix Resurrections day one." Haha, fooled you. 3 days later, this geek shows up in the chat with the damn slip.
I didn't buy it day one. It was like 2 weeks. The movie's been out. I technically bought it
like
in this
week and a half after you bought it, bro.
It was
after
not.
It came out.
It was
recent.
$20.
I don't blame you because
$20 too much, bro. That movie sucks.
I'm a completionist though, so I mean, it is what it is. It's funny because I'm like, I was like, 4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. 3.5 or 4 out of 5 for Matrix Resurrection.
Yeah, 4 out of 5 drinks you had while watching that movie.
Facts. We got 4K D-Ray in the chat with the laughing emoji on sideways. I guess he's just laughing as Jason says, just signing up for HBO Max currently. Yes, sir. You'll be able to watch the Batman. You'll be able to watch the Batman. Go ahead, watch the Batman.
It's going to be available at midnight.
Is it? I'm hoping because I'm going to sleep to watch it. I'm going to sleep to watch that shit.
Yo, if that shit is there at midnight, bro. Yo.
What if it's already on there?
No. Well, I would have got the notification on Twitter.
They're going to pull up as a Suicide Squad. It's already out. Go watch it. Emmett says, I'm going to ask a question again. Who is the best villain in Iron Man 2? Justin Hammer or Whiplash? Whiplash is better than Justin Hammer.
Justin Hammer. I don't like Whiplash as a villain.
They're both trash, so I don't know.
Justin Hammer's good, bro. I'm tired of people shitting on Justin Hammer. I like Justin Hammer as a villain.
He's all right. So if Halloween H2O is not a sequel to Halloween 6, then why do Dr. Loomis was mentioned? Because Dr. Loomis was in
1 and 2. And
right.
It's a sequel to 2, and he was in 1 and 2. He died in 2.
Benji, we're watching this tonight.
What is it?
The Forever Purge. Yes, we are.
That movie's dog shit. Have you seen it, Tyler?
No, I haven't. That's why I want to watch it.
Oh, $15 for 4K, no ads.
I'll listen to you react to it.
Okay, so that's just for a month. Oh. See, that's what I'm saying. So what are the tiers for HBO Max? They have one with ads too?
Yeah. They just added that.
Ads or without ads.
Is it free?
No.
No, without ads is like
it's like $5. No, it's
$5.
I think.
That's not bad though.
Yeah, but who the hell is gonna want to sit there watching ads?
I mean, I got Hulu with ads, so I'm not upset about it.
I mean, that's different though. That's TV.
Oh, so the ads show up during the movie?
Yeah,
I would assume so.
It's like Tubi, where it's in the middle of the movie. They have like 5 ads. So
they gotta make.
But I don't know though. I don't know though, because Hulu doesn't have ads during their movies.
They don't though. They don't.
I don't know.
It's only shows. It's only shows. I've watched. Well, I got Stars though, so Stars don't have ads.
No, I'm talking about on my
Disney Star.
Yeah.
Which just got like all the seasons of It's Always Sunny. That's awesome.
Nice.
I love Disney Star. It's a great.
Any closing thoughts before we end the live stream?
No, man. I think our next nerd talk is what? Doctor Strange?
Yeah, so we're gonna be kind of taking a little hiatus because next week I don't think we're doing anything because what's next week? Yeah, next week I'm going to Indiana. I'm going to Indiana to see AJ. So I will be doing a Blu-ray hunt video. Will be that day with me and AJ.
With AJ.
We're going to Indiana. I wish I can open up Indiana. I wish I can open up a portal to bring him into this area.
Like Sonic.
No, like Doctor Strange.
But don't feel bad, guys, because when we're taking a break, we're coming up with new ideas for watch-alongs. We have like a fucking Roman scroll of watch-alongs we came up with.
Get ready
last
for
week. You guys are
Martyrs
not.
watch along.
You guys are not ready for the shit we got
We're
planned.
not ready for when we do Serbian film.
We between my channel,
you,
Alex's channel, Stu's channel, it is gonna be one hell of a summer, bro.
Yes, sir.
You guys gotta do it. Are you doing a summer series where you guys do a watch along series, but it's all on all three of your channels? Where it's like this week we're on here, like what you did for Halloween.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. So in the summer, I got at least 3 movies that I want to do. And then the list probably keeps growing because there's more I keep thinking about. Dude. And I know Stu has a couple he wants to do as well. And then same for October. October we're doing the exact same thing.
Man, October, bro, it's over. Oh, it's over in October.
October's gonna be an interesting time. We're doing extra episodes. We're doing an extra episode we're doing 5 Halloween episodes
for the podcast,
4 Christmas episodes for the podcast. It's gonna go from September to December is just gonna be seasonal episodes from Halloween, and then in November we start Christmas right away. So it's gonna be really interesting. We got a lot of choices, interesting choices. I can't say what they are because that's gonna ruin the illusion of the podcast, but
I love doing the watch-alongs. We're not going to stop. We're going to keep doing them. Obviously, we're going to do stuff that mostly everyone have seen, so you guys can join in and watch. We're not going to just do first-time watches or anything like that.
I'll tell you this much. For the watch-alongs we're doing, we don't need roads.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, that is a summer franchise. You're right.
Yes, it is. That's why we're doing it. Like I said, a hint, another hint, we're doing one with Arnold. I think I might do a couple Arnold movies in the summer. Halloween, clearly. I have to. Maybe I should watch True Lies.
You know what? This is a story. You know what they're doing at my theater? They're gonna do a drunken cinema in July. That's True Lies. So I'll 100% go. You get to do a drinking game to True Lies. It's gonna be so much fun.
It's not even just gonna be the summer because we're bringing you guys. We're definitely prepping for Jurassic World.
Yes, we're doing Jurassic Park as well. That we doing that next month. That's in May.
Yeah, next month. We're gonna do 1 and Jurassic World, I think.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Because we're not gonna do fucking Fallen Kingdom. Fuck that shit.
We're not doing Fallen Kingdom. We're not doing 2. We're not doing 3. We'll do 1 and 4.
Top Gun.
I don't know if I want to sit there and watch Top Gun. I don't know. We're probably not gonna do anything for Nerds of Top Gun. I'll probably review it if I go see it, but I probably won't do a watch along for Top Gun.
We're not gonna do Doctor Strange, right?
We're not Doctor Strange. That's why I wanted to do No Way Home before Doctor Strange. That was my plan. I wanted to do that one first because it's the movie before Doctor Strange. So maybe we'll do a watch along of that, or maybe that Sunday or Monday, because I don't think anything is happening. Clearly, nothing is happening until Doctor Strange. So yeah, I think that's it.
Yes.
We're gonna go ahead and end it. Let me go ahead and close out with Benji. Let everyone know where they can find you.
If you want specifically in Toronto, I'll give you my home address.
Get them.
So that people can beat my ass over my opinions. I guess I do things with my name. So like, oh geez. So my YouTube, my Twitter, my Instagram, all of them are under my name, and then of course in my social medias it links to my other pages like the podcast and like the journalism account I have for stuff that isn't movies. And it's if you just look up my name, everything is there. I think it's that simple, nothing too crazy, but
all right. Tyler.
Yo. So you guys know where I'm at on Instagram, Mind of a Nerd, purple and green icon, weekly reviews. My written review of Fantastic Beasts is up on the page right now. Go and like it if you haven't. I've been reviewing Moon Knight weekly, and that's going to continue. I've also started reviewing Shinedown reviews for no apparent reason because their new album got delayed 3 months. So that sucks, but I'm still going to keep finishing them. So this week I'm dropping 2 more album reviews as well as Moon Knight episode 4 review. On YouTube, me and AJ reviewed Fantastic Beasts in a full in-depth spoiler and non-spoiler review. Benji, shut up.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize.
And then I think Tuesday, if Alex is free, me, him, and AJ will be doing a live Harry Potter ranking, which I am looking forward to. And then I really don't have anything else planned for that until Doctor Strange. I might do a Doctor Strange watch along on my channel. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, Mind of a Nerd on Instagram and Mind of a Nerd Reviews on YouTube.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You guys already know who I am. I am Alex Thomas on the Alex Thomas channel. If you guys already here, you already hit that subscribe button. If you are new, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Also hit that notification bell. Stay updated on my videos. More Blu-ray content, watch-alongs, reviews, trailer reactions, all that type of content will be coming on my channel. You guys already know. Like I said, upcoming videos, obviously Blu-ray hunting Tuesdays. I'm not reviewing anything. I think I'm done reviewing movies until Doctor Strange. What else? That's it though. I think that's it. I don't know. I'm trying to think of more new ideas to make videos about. I might make another video about why I collect physical media in 2022. I might be coming up with that video next month. Clearly, we got a lot of stuff planned. Doctor Strange. We got Friday 13th coming out, so I might talk about like some of my Friday 13th memories when it comes to the movies, my collection and stuff like that as well. I think that's it. That's all I can think about at the moment. But keep the update. You know, you guys already know I update you guys when I upload stuff on my channel. And I appreciate everybody that came through. Emmett, Bruce, Jason, Movie Hunter, 4K D-Ray, Elliot, Kevin, my twin. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys for joining us. And we are on this one, you guys.
Yeah. Let's get it. Let's go.